Hello, and welcome to the Reselling Report for today, Wednesday, April 29th, 2020. I'm your host, Ann Eckhart, and every weekday morning I upload the Reselling Report here to YouTube to update you on the day's retail and e-commerce news, including the latest from eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Mercari, and Poshmark. If you haven't done so already, I hope you'll subscribe. And now, let's get on with today's show. Well, happy Wednesday to you wherever you are, whether you're self-quarantining or are an essential employee. As always, thank you, a million thank yous to the essential employees, the healthcare workers, the retail workers, the workers from transportation, city employees, everyone who is out there to keep our country going and to keep those of us who are at home going with what we need to have to stay at home and hopefully keep you safe. I cannot say thank you enough. Of course, we are now halfway through the week, probably looking at a weekend of no garage sales coming up for most of us, but some states are starting to partial reopen, including some retail. Now, here in Iowa, on Friday, 77 counties of the 99 will be able to partially reopen some businesses. Now, of course, that sounds like a lot, but here in Iowa, the 77% of counties that are able to start opening up a little are the most rural and the least populous. The counties with the highest population centers, including the one I live in, cannot. And I happen to live in now the epicenter of the outbreak here in Iowa. So big thanks to Tyson Food for letting your plant stay open and causing an outbreak, as well as outbreaks here at the long-term care centers. Of course, that's everywhere. That's where a lot of the outbreaks are. We are getting hit hard here in Iowa. Our county's numbers are going up every day of new cases. So in order for things to start opening up, the federal government has put in the recommendation that it's supposed to be states, but some states like ours are going by county, has a 14-day decline in numbers. So the 77 counties that start opening up a bit here on Friday have no cases or very few and aren't growing. So those places can start opening some retail, and that will mean thrift stores will be open in those areas. Now, again, these are rural, small population centers. I don't know what thrift stores and things they would have anyway, but if you're a reseller and you're in one of these small communities in Iowa, at least, you may be able to get back to sourcing a little bit. As for me, I'm still not going to be going out until there's a vaccine. I don't care if every thrift store in the world is open until there's a vaccine for coronavirus. I'm staying home. But for those of you who feel like going out and you're in a state where things are opening up, let me know below. Are the thrift stores starting to open up? Are you able to get out sourcing either this weekend, or does it sound like maybe soon? Definitely let me know what the lockdown situation is where you live. Speaking of thrift stores opening this week, I, for one, hope all retail, including and maybe especially thrift stores, will be implementing stricter sanitation efforts. Now, this is already starting to happen on airplanes and hotels. And you know what? This is what I think. These sanitation efforts that the airlines and the hotels and some retail are making, wouldn't we all have liked those to be in place before the outbreak? Like, do we need a global pandemic for them to sanitize the airplanes and to sanitize the hotel rooms? Let's hope that these practices stay in effect. But there is an article over on the Phoenix Business Journal's website titled "Goodwill Arizona First in Nation to Pass Healthy Verify Inspection and to Reopen This Week." Oh, well, Goodwill in Arizona is reopening. So this article says the latest Goodwill in the nation has been approved as the first Healthy Verified certified company in America and will implement the protocol at all 100 retail locations in the state. A post over on the Healthy Verify's website says, "Now more than ever, it's important for businesses to take steps that help reduce the risk of infectious diseases. Healthy Verify is implementing strict procedures and employee training to award businesses our gold standard certification in disease reduction. Our procedures are developed specifically for each business through an association with top medical professionals. Healthy Verify is also developing employee training for businesses in collaboration with the most innovative university in the country, Arizona State University. A Healthy Verify certification tells customers your business takes the health of its customers and employees seriously by implementing the latest safety techniques." Now, unfortunately, I can't really find on their website exactly what these procedures are that they will do for a business. You need to request a consultation. It's catered to each business. It does say that it is different from your local health code certification because this is a way to show your employees and customers that your business is going beyond the minimum requirements that are applicable to all business. So I suppose just guessing that this is going to be things like teaching social distancing, maybe putting in some barriers, plexiglass, talking about how to clean and sanitize. I'm assuming that's what this is. Again, it's really difficult to find out much via their website unless you request a consultation. But I would assume that a lot of retail and restaurant will be trying to prove to their customers that they are going above and beyond sanitation and social distancing practices in order to make people safe wanting to come out. Because it's one thing to tell places that they can open. Will customers feel safe going? That's the real question. Now, I've said before, for me, as someone who has an underlying condition, I have neutropenia, which means I have no immune system, as well as my dad living with me, and he's 88. We're both very susceptible to this virus, and so I will not be doing anything unless I absolutely have to until there's a vaccine. But for those who do feel confident going out, I think to know that a retail location is going above and beyond, especially Goodwill and thrift stores. Now, I know that some bins locations spray the items that go out in bins. I've had an allergic reaction to touching things from different Goodwill outlets because they had that chemical on them. So there is that. So we will just have to see as things start to reopen up what each local business will do. Because again, it is different based on the state and the county and the city, whether there are any recommendations or rules or not. Some places, or I think most places, recommend what businesses do, but I don't know that they have to do anything in terms of sanitation and social distancing other than what the minimum requirements are from wherever the location is. We've talked on the show about how some resellers and some Etsy sellers who produce their own items are frustrated with these sites and are looking to develop their own independent website. And of course, Shopify is one of the best known places to go to create your own online store. Well, according to TechCrunch.com, Shopify is launching Shop, a new mobile app. This article reads, while Shopify is best known for powering the online stores of more than 1 million businesses, the company is launching a consumer shopping app of its own, simply called Shop. The app is actually an update and rebrand of Arrive, an app for tracking packages from Shopify merchants and other retailers, which the company says has been used by 6 million customers already. Shop includes those same package tracking capabilities, but it also allows consumers to browse a feed of recommended products, learn more about each brand, and make purchases using the one-click Shop Pay checkout process. Carl Rivera, the manager of Shop, told me that the app is a response to a broader shift, not just from desktop to mobile commerce, but also from mobile web to native mobile apps. The challenge, he suggested, is that most of us only download and shop from a handful of native apps, so it can be hard for an independent brand to launch an app of their own. What we want to do with Shop is give them a place to call their own. Shop provides customized product recommendations to each shopper, but Rivera noted that these recommendations all come from brands that you've already shown an interest in, either by purchasing a product from their Shopify store or by following the profiles in the app. So eBay and Amazon both do a heavy business on their apps, respectively, when people are shopping via mobile. So this is an interesting take of Shopify basically trying to put all of their customers together in one location. So sounds like an interesting development, certainly easier, as the article suggests, of going and just trying to do an app or shop, a bookmark for every single site that's out there. And I would think that if you are on Shopify, this could be a boon to business, because if somebody does download the Shop app, then your store will be much more accessible to them on their phone. Turning now to Etsy, there is an article over on the e-commerce Bytes blog titled Etsy Sellers Report Payment and Disbursement Problems. The article reads, Etsy sellers are reporting both payment processing and disbursement issues. Several readers said they have been waiting many days for Etsy to deposit funds into their accounts. I am a seller and am wondering if anyone else is reporting that Etsy is holding back payments from sales, wrote one reader. I am signed up on Etsy for automatic next day deposits to my bank account. I checked my Etsy finances and see that I had a payment from sales due to be deposited to my bank account last Wednesday, April 22nd. As of this morning, the money is still sitting on Etsy with a notification that it will now be deposited on April 28th. Another reader also said Etsy had held her money for the last 6 days, no daily deposit and no explanation. I called customer service to hear no longer in service and send an email. Frustrated, she began deactivating her expensive and newer listings. Lo and behold, a deposit was started. Was I singled out or did this happen to others? On the Etsy discussion board, there are also reports of sellers receiving payment processing notification that hang on for days without sales being received. I received the payment processing email from Etsy, but it's been about 5 days and no orders have been cleared yet. Is this normal? I don't want to have angry customers because of a delay on Etsy's side. Another seller said she received a sale for an item priced at over $300, showing payment processing for over 72 hours. After spending hours trying to find a link for customer service, she finally quit and looked up a phone number from past email. When I spoke with customer support, they said, and I quote, "We will go ahead and push this to the front of the line and get the sale processed." 20 minutes later, I got the email stating the sale had been declined and my listing reactivated. So interesting development. Has this been affecting you? If you are an Etsy seller, have you been having problems with reported payment and disbursement? Leave me a comment below and let me know. On another side of Etsy, according to an article from The Atlantic, women are buying essential AF shirts, candles, and wine glasses. The strangest pandemic souvenir is Etsy merch with sassy slogans about essential workers. Spread love, not germs, reads the label on a hand-poured soy candle listed on Etsy. Light after a long day of being essential, reads another. A third, recommended as a gift for a healthcare worker, uses a curly Q font to declare whoever lights it essential AF. If you don't know what that means, you can look it up. The coronavirus pandemic has separated American workers into essential and non-essential categories, and in recent weeks, the language has started appearing on all kinds of Etsy products in the typical playful and colorful aesthetics of the online craft marketplace. There are essential AF engraved wine glasses, t-shirts, with t-shirts reading, "I'll be there for you," with a reworded Friends logo, shirts reading, "I'm essential," "I am freaking essential," and "essential like a regular employee but important" are all tagged as bestsellers. And an Etsy search for essential worker turned up about 11,000 results, with quarantine turning up 98,000. So the Etsy sellers who create their own items are always very creative. They have been having Dr. Fauci and Andrew Cuomo merchandise. So essential products are apparently the hot new trend, at least this week. If you ship via FedEx, just a heads up that they have a COVID-19 small business resource page up. It has their COVID-19 response, how to get started with delivery if you have a brick and mortar store, and then shipping FAQs related to this time. All of the major carriers have been really good about getting information out, whether it's UPS, FedEx, USPS. This is a nice portal here over on the FedEx site, because whether you have a brick and mortar or you are already selling online, it has some help and advice, and just a nice, I think, page to show that businesses are aware of what's going on. So they've got an experts and peers advice section, how to elevate your e-commerce, and technology, if you including tech chat. So I will link that below in the show notes if you're interested in checking out FedEx's new coronavirus small business resource page. The latest post over on the eBay community forums is Seller Spotlight, Mickey Ross and the Ross Art Group. So this is profiling an eBay seller. Mickey Ross created the art group, his version of a happy place. For over 20 years, he's created an extensive collection of original vintage posters in his Manhattan gallery and on eBay. On a trip to Paris to find artwork to fill up an office space, he discovered original vintage posters. He fell in love and started slowly buying a few pieces here and there. His love for the art kept growing. After he sold his business, he decided to follow his passion. It was in 1999 when a friend of Ross told him about eBay. Even though the Ross Art Group Gallery is in the center of New York City, Ross knew eBay could launch his business to new heights. So he created a store and is now known as Poster Pro on the site. He was able to have an international clientele. With over 700 items in his eBay store at any given time, Ross loves that eBay is a 24-hour seller. Adapting to the world of e-commerce early on has been such a reward for him. There's nothing more gratifying than waking up to an email saying something has sold on eBay. We asked Ross if he's noticed a change in buyer behavior during the coronavirus crisis. He has said buyers do seem to still be buying art, and with a slight uptake, lately given all the extra time at home considering their walls. Ross has also really focused their attention on online support. Nothing is more important than treating your customers as if they are the only person you have business with. And it shows with a 100% success rating on eBay and customers coming back for more 10 to 15 years later after their first purchase. He can't stress enough the impact of a positive experience can have on a customer. So there's more to this article. It will be linked in the show notes below, but a nice little piece. It's always fun to see people who have businesses on eBay. They have a brick and mortar store, and then they bring their very specialty crafted item or curated item, I should say, to eBay, and these really cool vintage posters that this gentleman sells. So very interesting story over on eBay. And finally, today over on the Poshmark Facebook page, they have posted some what is trending and performing the best on the site right now. So you're looking for some ideas of what's selling best. And this isn't just for Poshmark, right? This can be for any site that you resell on. Top performing categories: activewear, makeup, and home. For activewear, they have leggings in the brands ALO Yoga. I don't know if it's Alo Yoga. Athleta, Gymshark, Fabletics, Lululemon, and Nike. And shirts for men, we have Adidas, Lululemon, Nike, and Under Armour. Those are the top categories and top brands. For the home category, for home accents, they have Anthropologie, Pottery Barn, and Yankee Candle. And for kitchen and dining, Anthropologie, Rae Dunn, and Starbucks. And in makeup, for the eyeshadow brands, ColourPop Cosmetics, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, Too Faced Cosmetics, and Urban Decay. And lipstick, Jeffree Star, Kylie Cosmetics, Lip Sense, and MAC Cosmetics. So these are, I'm assuming, the most searched for, or I don't know if they just grabbed these brands out of the hat. But anyway, that is the latest little bit of data from Poshmark. And that is a wrap on today's show. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you can take a moment to leave a comment, even if it's just a thumbs up or a smiley face, leaving a comment really, really helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps me grow the show. I get so many comments on social media saying, oh, I love the show, but people don't comment very much. So if you can leave a comment, even one word or an emoji, I would very much appreciate it. Also, check out the show notes below the video for links to the articles I referenced on today's show. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.